Hi, my name is Owen and I'm here to give you all a sneak peek of a tool that I've been building which should help you type on your computer or phone in Bliss just like you would any other language. It's bothered me for a really long time that there's no easy way to type Bliss on your phone or computer, which means that actually having a conversation with someone or building a website about the language is really difficult. The system that I've been working on is based on the visual nature of the symbols rather than on the phonetics of the symbols, which means it works regardless of what natural language you speak in real life. The idea for the keyboard was drawn from looking at how Chinese characters are input. You start by tapping on a basic shape which comprises part of the symbol that you want, and then the screen will present you with only symbols that contain that basic shape. And by repeatedly tapping, you can become more and more specific and eventually choose the exact symbol that you are hoping for. So for example, the symbol for day is a large circle representing the sun over a flat line which represents the earth. In this system, we start by looking at the basic shapes that we have available to us. We can see that there's a straight line and also a circle. So we would hope that by choosing either of these two, we could get to the symbol that we're hoping for. I think the circle is the more prominent shape within the symbol, so let's start there. By tapping on the circle, we can see a list of all of the symbols in Bliss which incorporate the circle. In this case, I've noticed that in the third row, there is the symbol for day that we were hoping for. So I tap on that, and now you'll notice that we're presented with a screen that allows us to choose what indicator we want above our symbol. These allow you to indicate whether it's a noun, verb, adverb, and tenses, and other things. In this case, we just want the noun, so we take the basic symbol without any identifier. As you can see, that character has now been typed up at the top. Why don't we try a more complicated example? Consider the symbol for walking or moving. That's the pair of legs. I think the diagonal lines are quite prominent in the symbol, so let's start there. By choosing the diagonal line, we can see this collection of symbols available to us. Now I'm looking around, but I don't see the walking sign there. So what I do see that's closest is probably the pair of diagonal lines on top of each other, making a kind of triangular shape. Now, by tapping on that, I can get presented with all of the symbols that include that basic shape. And on this screen, I can see, there it is, over on the right, the symbol for walking or moving that I was hoping for. Now, by tapping on that again, you can see a number of more specific symbols related to legs and movement. Now, I just want the basic walking sign, so I'm going to choose that. And now, let's assume that I was interested in the verb to walk, not just the noun of a walk. So the verb is an action, which is indicated by this pointy hat. So this is the symbol that I want. And now, as you can see, we've typed the symbol for to walk in the box at the top. Now let's try typing an actual sentence. Let's type, I like to walk. So in this case, we want to start with the person sign, which is how we denote I. So the person is a vertical line with a horizontal line at the bottom. So I'm going to tap on the vertical line, and there I can see the sign for person. So I choose it, and I note that there's actually a lot of different symbols which include that shape, but we're not interested in them, so I'm going to tap again on the person, which is what I'm interested in. Now I see my various indicators available. In this case, I just want the plain symbol. So I've now typed the symbol for person, but I is a person with the number 1 next to it. So let's tap on the number, and I can see that I can choose between 1, 2, and 3. In this case, I want 1. And again, I'm not interested in an indicator. So we've now typed I. We now need to add a space, and that's what this character on the far left is for. In the future versions, this will actually look like a keyboard, and you'll have backspace and a big space bar at the bottom and things. But this semi-transparent space sign is what we have for now. So I'm going to tap on that, and now we want to type the symbol for like. The symbol for like is a heart sign with a plus and an exclamation mark. And because we're interested in the verb, the heart sign should have the hat over it. So we're going to start with a heart sign. And as we tap, we can see a number of different variations of the heart available, but we just want the basic heart right now. And since we want it to be a verb, we tap the action indicator version. So we now have the heart with the hat. Now next we want to add the plus sign next to it. So I'm going to tap on the vertical line, and there's the plus. I don't want any of the variations, so I tap the plus again. I don't want an indicator, so I tap the plus again. Now we want an exclamation mark. So I'm going to start with the vertical line. Now I'm going to look around, and there is the exclamation point. Now I want the small one, so I'm going to choose the small one, and I don't want an indicator, so I choose the small exclamation again. Now I'm going to need another space, and we now have I like. Now we need to type to walk. This is the legs with the hat over them. So I'm going to, just like we did before, tap on the diagonal sign, and then go for this kind of diagonal arch, and then the legs, and then I just want the basic version of the legs, but I do want the action indicator. And there we have it. We've now typed, I like to walk. This system also works for more complicated characters. For example, the symbol for a road is a small car sitting on a road with a little arrow pointing down at the road. This is naturally much more complicated to type, but let's give it a go. So I'm going to start by drawing the car. So a wheel is a circle with a cross in it, so let's choose the circle. And there's the sign for wheel, so let's choose that. And there's the sign for car, so let's choose that. And there we can see road. And since we don't want any of the indicators, we've now typed a very complicated symbol in just a few presses. I'm now working on restyling the system and making it work on phones. So the idea would be you would have an interface, something like you see here, which looks a bit more like a conventional keyboard. You tap on one symbol and then the keyboard changes and you see other symbols that are available to you. You'll also have conventional buttons for space and backspace, as well as the ability to type alphanumeric characters if you want to write someone's name, for example. I hope this has been interesting, and I would love to get your feedback on the approach. If you have any thoughts, ideas, or suggestions, please leave them under this video. Thanks, and see you next time!